All right. Ashes of Creation, Early Access Launch Day.
You are not prepared.
And if you tried to play on day one, there's a very good chance you spent more time fighting the website than actually fighting mobs. So in this video, I want to talk honestly about what actually happened, what went wrong, what surprisingly worked, and why, despite a very rough launch, I still think Ashes has real potential. First, let's set expectations properly. This is alpha on Steam Early Access. Bugs are expected. Instability is expected. But at the same time, first impressions do matter, especially when thousands of new players show up on the same day. And launch day was rough. The biggest issue by far was account creation and Steam linking. A huge number of players couldn't even get into the game for hours because the website was either down or unstable. And the important part here, account linking is mandatory. It's part of the official early access flow. So when the website breaks, the entire pipeline breaks with it. Second issue, no preload. Everyone was downloading, installing, creating accounts, and linking Steam at the exact same time. So even though in-game queues weren't insane at first, the real bottleneck became the website and setup process. Third, stability and server flow. Once people finally got in, there were still restarts, instability, and not enough realms to handle the demands smoothly. So yeah, from a launch logistics perspective, it was a mess. Now let's talk performance, because this was my biggest personal issue. On day one, my FPS was sitting around 25 to 35, which honestly felt rough. And for players on lower-end PCs, the game was nearly unplayable. The Steam page specs didn't really reflect the real performance reality at launch. Optimization was clearly not where it needed to be, and community feedback showed wildly different FPS results depending on hardware and settings. But on day two, optimization improved dramatically. My FPS jumped from around 25 to 30 to 60 to 70, with no major changes on my end. So if you quit on day one purely because of FPS issues, I genuinely recommend giving it another try. Performance is already moving in the right direction, but still needs more optimization. One more thing that caught a lot of people off guard. The Unstuck button kills your character. There's no clear warning prompt, so if you press it thinking it's a harmless teleport, you will die and take normal death penalties. So use it only if you're genuinely stuck and you're okay with taking the hit. Another weak point is quest guidance. It is improved compared to earlier phases, but it still leans heavily into a figure-it-out-yourself style. If you enjoy WoW classic-style exploration, that's fine. But if you're coming from more modern MMOs with strong direction and hand-holding, this can feel frustrating and unclear. This is definitely an area that still needs polish. Personally, I like WoW classic-style exploration. Now let's talk positives, because once you're actually playing, there are a lot of them. Combat feels good. Skill trees look solid and interesting. Even through launch chaos, the core gameplay systems are working, and that's huge. Gathering and crafting feel much better this phase, and progression feels meaningful instead of pointless busywork. I'm personally playing Summoner, and overall, it feels great. That said, there are still bugs. Pets sometimes stop following, and you need to resummon them. And there are a lot of quality of life improvements missing. But it is early access, so I don't expect it yet. Also worth mentioning, some mobs have very long aggro ranges right now. They will follow you, basically forever. Definitely something that needs tuning. So was the launch a mess? Yes. The website and linking issues were brutal, and that deserves criticism. But do I think the game is doomed because of a bad day one? No. What matters now is how fast Intrepid responds, stabilizing account flow, improving performance, and polishing the early game experience. And to be fair, we already saw major FPS improvements by day two, which is a good sign. Now I want to hear from you. How long did it take you to get in? What FPS are you getting, and on what specs? And what class did you start with? Drop your experience in the comments. I'm reading everything. And I'll be doing a follow-up once we see the first major fixes and balance changes roll in. Please like and subscribe if you want to support the channel.